Sorry about that. Hey, what's up? It's Marc Clarke, radio host, dad, podcaster. Yes, I'm in the middle of a podcast right now. I'm in a podcast right now. Don't let this unprofessional start judge me if it's the first time you've heard me on a podcast. But,
Dad?
yes.
Mom wants you to cleanse the toilet.
Okay, I'm doing a podcast right now. So, yes, as you can hear, apparently there's an issue with the toilet. And this is maybe why I only have 4 followers on my podcast. This podcast, as a radio professional, I'm amazed at all the new podcasters and all the new podcast platforms that are popping up everywhere. Somebody is getting paid. I'm not one. It's probably because just how this podcast started. I'm not taking it seriously enough. I mean, I'm just talking, and everybody else, man, they got sponsors. They're doing it up big. I just downloaded Trevor Noah's new podcast, like he needs yet another stream of income. But I'm trying to figure it out. I am a professional communicator, trained in how to communicate effectively, and I've got 2 followers. Now, if you don't know, podcasting is red hot. If you have a podcast and you're not red hot, what's wrong? That's a question I have to ask myself. We have to look and see, well, what is it? Are you not consistent? No, I'm not. Is your content not compelling? Sometimes it's not. Are you not letting the world know that you have a podcast? I'm not letting everybody know like I should. Are you partnering to get more exposure? I'm not really partnering. Is your podcast polished, well produced? Not really. You just heard that beginning. That was pretty raggedy. All these questions are reasons why, if you have a podcast and it sucks as far as you don't have anybody listening to it or nobody's following you, these are probably reasons why. Number 2, you may be one of those people that don't get it. You know, you say, I don't get the podcast piece. Well, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people who are getting it. What it is, number 1, people can listen to your podcast when they want to listen on their own time. So they don't have to tune in at 9 o'clock. They don't have to call you. They don't have to do anything but listen at their leisure. Okay? And a lot of people, I tell you when they really get their listening time in. I know I did when I was commuting, when you're working out, or if you're cleaning up around the house. And so for the old heads out there, the podcast power is that once they follow you on these platforms, usually it just downloads automatically. So just like your favorite episode on, Netflix or whatever you're watching these days, you can get caught up. You could binge listen. You could binge watch if they're vlogging. So, yeah, I think people want the freedom to use their content how they want to use it. And that's where it comes in. Now, everybody and their mama is having a podcast. I'm just looking around. Some people are really good. You know, I think Malcolm Gladwell is really good. I think Joe Rogan is really good. I like Corey Holcomb, what he's doing, even though he's off the chain and offensive, and most people be offended by him. There's a lot of really good podcasts out there, and there's a lot of really bad podcasts out there. I would love to say I have a great podcast, and I have. If you look through my Spreaker files, you'll see I have a lot of different topics and a lot of episodes, and they're okay. You know what I mean? They're not amazing. They're okay. But also, lastly, niche. They say the most powerful podcasts are those that fit into a niche. They find a small sliver topic, and then you get all those people who are into that, So collectors and people who, like cars, music, history, art, they're always great because there's so many people who, are fascinated. And those are really the great podcasts when you really stroke the specialties, if you're somebody who, knits, or somebody who cleans the bottom of their boat, or, what I mean? Like, there's a place for you. A glass blower, somebody who's a ham radio operator. It doesn't have to be this big shotgun approach. It could be a really small niche, whatever you want to say.